Well, hello and welcome to this first Law and Sexuality podcast. I'm not sure how these things are going to pan out yet. They might work really well, they might work really badly, I might just really hate recording myself. So they might last for a while or I might ditch them. But the aim in this first clip is really to give you an overview of what I'm hoping to achieve in these podcasts. I'm aiming to do one every month, maybe a couple of months. The aim of them is to talk about some of the overarching themes that dominate this field. My hobby horses will feature as well, as you probably expect. So, things that I think are pretty topical at the moment. The idea of this notion of a kind of gay elite, be it in the media, be it academics like myself, who are in some way disconnected from the lives of ordinary gay and lesbian men and women up and down the country. How our experiences are different from ordinary experiences, how the stuff that we write and we talk about is disconnected from ordinary people's lives. So an example of that would be the HIV debate, where increasingly we have high-profile journalists, high-profile academics who put forward a view about sexual behaviour, sexual practices that seems disconnected from the way people lead their lives. So that's one of the things I want to explore in these podcasts. Another example might be my own research, subjects like public sex. How is that panning out in terms of policing? In a culture of economic cuts in the UK that we're likely to be facing? Are we going to see a reduction in policing in country lanes at 3 o'clock in the morning, or is that still going to be an important part of policing? Should it be? That's going to be a debate that I suspect we'll be having. What about sex work? The last Labour government had very clear policies on prostitution, sex work. How's that going to work with this current government, the coalition government? What's going to happen in the run-up to the Olympic Games in 2012? How is the subject of sex work and the legal regulation of sex work, how's that going to be reported in the media? How are academics going to respond to that agenda? How are activists going to respond to that agenda? So that's probably another topic that I will be touching on at some point. Pornography, another example, very contemporary subject, something that regularly pops up that people get awfully wound up about for a variety of reasons. What about, going back to the HIV theme in particular, what about companies like Treasure Island Media who have to address the subject, choose to address the subject of HIV positive performance? Paul Morris of Treasure Island Media recently announced that there's going to be a new strand of their pornography that will include HIV positive performers. What does that say about the state of pornography? What does that say about regulation, control of people who are HIV positive, the control of pornography, the control of sexual behaviour? It's a big topic that I'll probably be talking about at some future point. You can have a look on the blog. There's various stuff I've written and talked about on that already up there. The idea of identity, more generally, sorry, I'm looking at my little notes here to remind me. The idea of identity is probably going to be an ongoing issue, particularly when it comes to trans issues as well. As medical processes evolve, how does that inform our conceptions of gender, our conceptions of sexuality as a society and within a legal framework? What about contemporary political issues like Peter Tatchell's Equal Love campaign, the one that again we're seeing gradually getting into the media in recent weeks, the idea of straight couples and gay couples trying to apply for civil partnerships with a view to a human rights action down the line, probably in the new year. That's another kind of debate that I'll be talking about. And I guess when you kind of summarise these topics, you can see law and sexuality is very much in the news right now. It's a fast-moving, fast-evolving area that hopefully, in addition to the stuff I write on the blog, these little podcasts of me meandering through several thoughts will add another kind of perspective and angle on things. But for me, on a personal level, this is also about academics not being in their ivory towers. There's now this very fashionable term that UK academics, you might come across, UK academics use this term impact, God help us all, which is part of our kind of research framework. And I guess this is impact, but really it's about me trying to engage with a wider community, trying to move beyond just the students I deal with, but actually impact on the community that I talk about and impact with wider society. So I hope you'll find these useful. I hope I'm not just kind of talking in a room to nobody, and I hope that these aren't just kind of random meandering thoughts and are actually useful. I'd find it really useful if you posted comments on what you'd like to hear me talk about. If you'd like to have me shut up and never speak again, that's good as well. Feel free to put that thought out there. But you know, I am responding to what you want me to talk about. So do get in touch. Do tell me what you'd like me to talk about, what you'd like me to address, what your concerns are, what your thoughts are, and we'll see how these go. But for now, bye bye.